Hello, my name is Mary Virginia Mack, and I'm the owner of Georgetown Family Hypnosis and Massage Therapy. And today I'd like to introduce you to CranioSacral Therapy. And as part of CranioSacral Therapy, the client is going to lay down on the table. When we start CranioSacral Therapy, the first thing I do is I listen for your craniosacral rhythm, and we do that at certain points on the body. And by doing this, I can determine where there's restrictions in the body due to trauma in the past. So the first place that I listen for your craniosacral rhythm is at your ankles. And basically what I'm feeling for is the pulse of the fluid that flows throughout your spinal cord, and I can feel that any place on your body. After that, I move to the top of your feet, and I feel for the rhythm there. The next step is to move up the legs to just above the knees. And I'm listening there. And basically what I'm feeling for is the pulse basically feels like a butterfly opening and closing its wings. And sometimes when there's restrictions in the body, you might have, one side opens more than the other, or not enough, or it doesn't move at all. So that's basically what I'm feeling for. The next place that I'm going to listen is going to be at the hips. Again, just gentle pressure, only about 5 grams of pressure, about the weight of a nickel. This is very light, gentle therapy. Then I'm going to go and do just below the rib cage here. And then after that, I'm going to work at the shoulder area. Again, I'm just going to place my hands gently on the shoulders and feel for the rhythm. And the next is going to be at the head. Here at the head, again, I'm listening for the rhythm, very gently holding, cradling the head. And I'm feeling for the expansion out and back in. Then I'm feeling for the rhythm as it moves towards the feet and then back up towards the head. And the last position here for listening for the craniosacral rhythm is just right here at the temples. And that's the first step in doing craniosacral therapy. The next step we do when we're doing craniosacral therapy is I'm going to do diaphragm releases. And the purpose of diaphragm releases is to release the fascia that has been over time twisted and turned within your body that is causing, again, restrictions in your body. So this is the only time when I'll have the client actually assist me doing this therapy. So the first place we're going to do is a sacrum release. So I just basically put my hand underneath the sacrum and gently put my hand on the lower abdomen. And here what I'm doing is I'm just feeling for the fascia and how it feels as it's moving around, and it twists and turns, and all I'm doing is following it till it gets to the point where it's at its furthest range, and I'm holding it, and then it will release, and as it releases it kind of comes right back to where it's supposed to be. And that is the first diaphragm release. The second diaphragm release is going to be at the ribs. Again, my hand at the lower back, just below the rib cage, 5 grams of pressure again, just gently feeling for muscle release and myofascial release of the fascia. The next diaphragm release is going to be at the collarbones. Then at the neck. And then the last place is going to be at the head. And basically what I'm doing here is applying just that 5 grams of pressure at the base of the occiput in between C1, your first vertebra, and your occiput. A lot of tension and stress is in this area, and what I want to do is to loosen up that muscle just by gently pressuring it and then allowing the occiput to release and just kind of float down. And that is the second step in craniosacral therapy. Once we're done with the diaphragm releases, we work on the head. And what we're doing is we're working on the skull and the bones in the skull to release, again, any stress or tension that's built up there. So the first thing we do is we just place our hands at the top of the forehead. The next is that we're going to come down here and go to the middle of the skull and just apply a little bit of pressure, no more than 5 grams of pressure again. And then we're going to go just above the temporal bones. Again, 5 grams of pressure, just releasing tension and stress along the suture lines of the skull. The next one is we're going to, again, go to the temples. And we're going to work there for a few minutes. Next, so we're going to listen again. This is a nice move. It's very gentle. We do it on both ears. It's just called an ear pull, but again, very gentle, 5 grams of pressure. Helps to release any tension and stress within the skull. And then after that, we do our TMJ move at the jaw. And that concludes your craniosacral therapy. If you have any other questions or would like to set up an appointment with me, please call Georgetown Family Hypnosis and Massage Therapy.